allow me to please return to the human condition. And one of the nice features of the human condition is love. Do you think humans will fall in love with AI systems and maybe they with us? So that aspect of the human condition, do you think that will be affected?
So in Greece, there's many words for love.
Mm-hmm.
And some of them mean friendship, some of them mean passionate love, some of them mean fraternal love, etc. So I think AI doesn't have the baggage that we do, and it doesn't have, all of the subcortical regions that we kind of, started with before we evolved all of the cognitive aspects. So I would say AI is faking it when it comes to love. But when it comes to friendship, when it comes to being able to be your therapist, your coach, your motivator, someone who synthesizes stuff for you, who writes for you, who interprets a complex passage, who compacts down a very long lecture or a very long text. I think that friendship will definitely be there. Like the fact that I can have my companion, my partner, my AI who has grown to know me well, and that I can trust with all of the darkest parts of myself, all of my flaws, all of the stuff that I only talk about to my friends and basically say, listen, here's all this stuff that I'm struggling with. Someone who will not judge me, who will always be there to better me. In some ways, not having the baggage might make for your best friend, for your confidant, that can truly help reshape you. So I do believe that human AI relationships will absolutely be there, but not the passion, more the mentoring.
Well, that's a really interesting thought. To play devil's advocate, if those AI systems are locked in faking the baggage, who are you to say that the AI systems that begs you not to leave it, it doesn't love you? Who are you to say that this AI system that writes poetry to you, that is afraid of death, afraid of life without you, or vice versa, creates the kind of drama that humans create, the power dynamics that can exist in a relationship? What an AI system that is abusive one day and romantic the other day, all the different variations of relationships, and it's consistently that it holds the full richness of a particular personality. Why is that not a system you can love in a romantic way? Why is it faking it if it sure as hell seems real?
There's many answers to this. The first is it's only in the eye of the beholder. Who tells me that I'm not faking it either? Maybe all of these subcortical systems that make me sort of have different emotions, maybe they don't really matter. Maybe all that matters is the neocortex, and that's where all of my emotions are encoded. And the rest is just, bells and whistles. That's one possibility. And therefore, who am I to judge that he's faking it when maybe I'm faking it as well? The second is neither of us is faking it. Maybe it's just an emergent behavior of these neocortical systems that is truly capturing the same exact essence of love and hatred and dependency and sort of, reverse psychology and that we have. So it is possible that it's simply an emergent behavior and that we don't have to encode these additional architectures, that all we need is more parameters. And some of these parameters can be all of the personality traits. A third option is that just by telling me, oh, look, now I've built an emotion component to AI. It has a limbic system, it has a lizard brain, etc. And suddenly I'll say, oh, cool, it has the capability of emotion. So now when it exhibits the exact same unchanged behaviors that it does without it, I, as the beholder, will be able to sort of attribute to it emotional attributes that I would to another human being, and therefore have that mental model of that other person. So again, I think a lot of relationships is about the mental models that you project on the other person and that they're projecting on you. And then yeah, then in that respect, I do think that even without the embodied intelligence part, without having ever experienced what it's like to be heartbroken, the sort of guttural feeling of misery, that system, I could still attribute it traits of human feelings and emotions.
And in the interaction with that system, something like love emerges. So it's possible that love is not a thing that exists in your mind, but a thing that exists in the interaction of the different mental models you have of other people's minds or other person's mind. And so, it doesn't, as long as one of the entities, let's just take the easy case, one of the entities is human and the other is AI, it feels very natural that from the perspective of at least the human, there is a real love there. And then the question is, how does that transform human society? If it's possible that, which I believe will be the case, I don't know what to make of it, but I believe that'll be the case, where there's hundreds of millions of romantic partnerships between humans and AIs. What does that mean for society?
If you look at longevity, and if you look at happiness, and if you look at late life, well-being, the love of another human is one of the strongest indicators of health into long life. And I have many, many countless stories where as soon as the romantic partner of 60 plus years of a person dies, within 3-4 months, the other person dies, just like losing their love. I think the concept of being able to satisfy that emotional need that humans have, even just as a mental health sort of service, to me, that's a very good society. It doesn't matter if your love is wasted, quote unquote, on a machine. It is, the placebo, if you wish, that makes the patient better anyway. Like there's nothing behind it, but just the feeling that you're being loved will probably engender all of the emotional attributes of that. The other story that I want to say in this whole concept of faking it, and maybe I'm a terrible dad, but I was asking my kids, my kids, I'm like, does it matter if I'm a good dad, or does it matter if I act like a good dad? In other words, if I give you love and shelter and kindness and warmth and all of the above, does it matter that I'm a good dad? Conversely, if I deep down love you to the end of eternity, but I'm always gone,
Yeah.
which dad would you rather have? The cold, ruthless killer that will show you only love and warmth and nourish you and nurture you, or the amazingly warm-hearted but works 5 jobs and you never see them?
And what's the answer? I mean,
I don't
from
know
the
the answer.
I think I think you're a romantic, so you say it matters what's on the inside. But pragmatically speaking, why does it matter?
The fact that I'm even asking the question basically says it's not enough to love my kids. I better freaking be there to show them that I'm there. So basically, of course, everyone's a good guy in their story.
Yeah.
So in my story, I'm a good dad. But if I'm not there, it's wasted. So the reason why I asked the question is for me to say, does it really matter that I love them if I'm not there to show it?
But it's also possible that what reality is the you showing it. That what you feel on the inside is little narratives and games you play inside your mind. It doesn't really matter. That the thing that truly matters is how you act, and that AI systems can quote unquote fake.
Yeah.
And that, if it's all that matters, is actually real but not fake.
Yeah. Yeah. Again, let there be no doubt, I love my kids to pieces. But, my worry is, am I being a good enough dad?
Yeah.
And what does that mean? Like if I'm only there to do their homework and make sure that they, do all the stuff, but I don't show it to them, then, might as well be a terrible dad. But I agree with you that like if the AI system can basically play the role of a father figure for many children that don't have one, or, the role of parents or the role of siblings, if a child grows up alone, maybe their emotional state will be very different than if they grow up with an AI sibling